Right, we're live. Good day, everybody. Welcome to Come On You Spurs TV, um, where we're going to discuss Forest versus Spurs. What a match! We have post-match chats with Folabi, Ben. We're waiting for Chuma to join us, and we also have Deji joining us today. We have loads to talk about, loads and loads to talk about. If you'll be back in a few minutes, and just hang on there, and we'll be back. TV. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. We are with us today. We have Falabi. Falabi is joining us from Abuja. Ben is joining us from stateside, and I think Deji is also stateside as well, isn't he?
Stateside today. Yep.
Good. So much to talk about. Where do we start? It's beginning to look like the classic Spurs narrative these days. Play poorly, get the 3 points. Under pressure. Apart from the first game, if I recall, against Southampton, when we conceded, and then we ended up not losing, and then obviously we came back with 4 goals. But other than that, most of the other matches we've played so far, we've been on the back foot, and we've come back and deliver the results. Deji, what are your thoughts?
Over the moon. Happy to have the 3 points. A little bit disappointed with the performance, like you said, but we looked solid in defense. We didn't concede. We were organized in defense. I felt we gave the ball away a bit too much in midfield and were wasteful going forward. But at the end of the day, 2 good points. We weren't too troubled. I suppose as a fan, you would like to be comfortable if we'd stuck 3 or 4 in in the first half. Would have been laughing all the way to the bank in the second half. It didn't happen, but we got the 3 points, and so we're over the moon. Come on, you Spurs.
Thank you, Deji. Ben, you look like you're gagging to go.
Yeah, I know. It was the usual. Well, let me start this way. We got the 3 points. That's what's most important for me. That if you look back to all the seasons that have gone on before, Spurs have been the only team that have lost and played badly. All the big teams play badly and still win. I always used to remember listening to that on the country, like, oh, that's the mark of a big team. They play badly, but they still win. Hey, that's what's happening now. So I'm over the moon, just like Deji. I'm over the flipping moon, and may continue to win. I mean, but also may we improve our play. It's gonna come. It is gonna come. Everyone, all the fans are all saying, "Oh, why aren't we playing the new players? Why aren't we playing the new players?" Well, I think we're not playing the new players yet because we have a team that was interrupted by the summer break. So what Conte has to do is to make sure that all those lessons they had before the break have sunk in, because it's a hard thing. It is a hard thing. So once down pat, then you can introduce new players and be sure that they've actually understood from watching the other players. I mean, I think Perisic was not very good today. I don't think so. That's me. That's my personal opinion. He plays as well as I thought he could play. But those might disagree, but I felt that he was as bad as he was the first half last game, personally. But hey ho, he can learn a lot from Sessegnon, I think.
If you're joining us for the first time, this is Come On You Spurs TV. We're discussing Tottenham versus Forest at the City Ground. We haven't been to the City Ground in God knows how long. This is the first competitive match we've played against Forest in over 8 years. And in that time, we've gone up in leaps and bounds, and Forest are back as newly promoted side. And we seem to have it, in fact, not with the team, we actually have an excellent record against newly promoted sides. And today, I think, they had us under the cosh for the first few minutes. And again, Harry popped up with the goal. Talk us through that goal, Deji, for Falabi.
Which goal?
The goal, the goal that Harry scored, the very
Harry's
first goal.
first goal.
Yeah, Harry's first goal.
There's only
Well, Well. Look. Harry's first goal was they lost the ball, and we took it. We went forward. We always pressed them. Once we got the ball, we were doing counter attack today, and our speed was evident. Our speed, our fitness, coordination was very evident today, and we were I felt we were rather fortunate with it because their defenders backed off. Once they saw Harry on the ball, their defenders backed off. With that goal, I personally, I don't know what anybody else will say, thought it was rather fortuitous because Harry did not hit it well, but he directed the ball. He was more like he passed it into the net.
Okay.
That's my view on the goal.
I mean, that's honestly, I think he probably give us a little bit of credit. Okay, we were fortunate, if you like. I mean, in the sense that it seemed like he scuffed it, and it hit the ground before. And that's, I think, if you look at, for me, for the whole goal for me was about Kulusevski. You know, if you look at Kulusevski's movements and how he got into that position, he had like a reverse pass. That, I mean, no one was expecting that. And guess what? He did it on his right leg. You know, because what you find with Kulusevski is that he always seems to cut back onto the left foot all the time. You know, no one would expect him to, play with his right foot. And this time around, he clicked it back to Harry. You know, so that caught the defender flat-footed to begin with. You know, and that gave Harry that little space that he needed. You know, because he wasn't expecting that he was going to pass from that position anyway. So I think that's what caught them off guard. You know, so I thought that was a well executed goal. On paper, it looked fortunate, but if you look back at it again, you realize that it was actually well crafted, and I think that goal was all down to Kulu. You know, Kulu, that assist was absolutely fantastic in my view. You know, Deji, you want to say something?
Roger, I completely agree. I think we had them turn. This is the way that we set up to play against them. We let them come at us, and then we won the ball back deep, and we had them turn running towards their goal. And it was a Kulu pass, pass right into Harry's path. He ran onto it. You might say he scuffed it, but it was so well placed that even though he didn't hit it clean. The keeper was never getting there. I'm not going to rush off and talk about the penalty, but if the penalty badly and got it as well positioned as that, he would have scored.
I know.
It was a dream, and I think
That's
it was
exactly
our
why
plan.
I said he passed it.
That
Exactly
plan
why I
working
said
perfectly.
he passed it into the net.
Absolutely.
That's exactly why I said he passed it into the net.
Welcome to Common Use Spurs TV. If you're watching for the first time, subscribe to our channel. Tell your friends about it. Let this go viral. Like, comment, and share. And also subscribe once you've heard from us. We would like to hear from you. If you're joining us live, I would like to know where you're joining us from. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and we look forward to bringing you on. Right, Ben. Now, Forest pressure. Now, some people say that Forest had a lot of ball in the first half. They kind of played around quite well, but I mean, again, no end result. Now, as the narrative you hear from the press, from the commentaries, is that okay, they had no nine as such, and they were doing a city, if you like, a pep, and i.e. with either a false nine or no nine at all. So, in which case, they had no focal points to direct all their efforts at. But I think what they've kind of all seem to sort of fail to give us credit for is the fact that we haven't given people opportunity to shoot at goal. We haven't given them clear chances to create. So, I mean, it's okay to have the ball pinging around in the in midfield in the final third, but if you don't deliver it, either a telling cross or a shot that's sort of on target, it's all a it's all a waste of time. You have got to put the ball in the net. If you don't, I mean, it's a waste of time, Ben. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I thoroughly agree with what you're saying, because if you look at it, Forest thought, you know what, they know they know we got a strong team, so they thought they could try a Chelsea or if you get Man City and play a false nine, and thereby keep our defense busy. But come on, they've got strikers. They've got Dennis. You know, they brought Dennis out later on, but they just thought that they could actually mess us up and keep us occupied. That's why if you look at the Tottenham play, they sort of destabilized Spurs. People say, "Oh, we didn't play well. We didn't play well." Yeah, we didn't play well. We didn't have a single person to mark. If they didn't want to give us a single target man, because if it's a target man, they would have played into our hands, and we would have got the ball from them and passed it to Kane and everyone else, and we would have done damage. But what Forest wanted to do was actually change things up, because they've seen what Pep does, they've seen what Tuchel does with Chelsea. A non-focal number 9 means that one player is taken out. But if you've got all players harrying our players, harrying our defense, we make errors. That's where goals are made. Goals are made from errors. And they thought they could get us. They've got quick players as well, and they thought they could get us, but we've got Conte. You know, just like they say, just like the Avengers said, they said we got the Hulk, we got Conte.
Right.
So,
Talking of Conte,
you know,
I think one well, if you want to call it criticism of, for want of a better expression, that you sort of hear leveled against the way we play is that we kind of tend to play reactive football rather than proactive football. I.e., we don't get on the front foot. We let people come at us, soak the pressure, and counter, right? And that way we end up, just giving them this, like a soccer punch, right? Now, on the other hand, some people will prefer a game where we've got our foot on their necks, on their throats, and we're pumping them, from beginning to the end, and no relenting in pressure. Now, there are two schools of thought there. I mean, I think for someone like Conte knows what he has. He has a very, very good idea of how he wants to play, how he wants his team to play. When you're on the offensive, how you attack. When you're without the ball, what to do without the ball. And also, if he has this system whereby even when we're under pressure, right, it sets us up in such a way that the moment we win the ball, 3 passes, we're in. 3 passes, we're in. And that seems, if you look at the Harry Kane goal, I mean, that combination with Kulusevski and Kane, it was 3 passes. And we were in on goal. So every time we're counter-attacking, for me, even though it sounds like reactive, it's actually, in no way, it's proactive, because we're almost like we're waiting for them to do what we need to do in order to do what we want to do. So, I mean, Falabi, what do you think?
When you watch, go back to Don Conte's history of playing football. The important thing is for him is his players running and running and running. He sets up his teams differently against oppositions. We should realize we were away today, and we were playing against 12 players. Their crowd today was phenomenal. Their crowd was behind them with every tackle.
Totally.
With every single, and we're playing against that. And we did not lose shape. We did not get flustered. We kept our momentum. We kept calm. And you said that Versick didn't play well today. He was the calmest player on the pitch. You look at some of the headers he gave back to Luis. Even the touches he gave back to Luis within the 6-yard box. He was so calm. So calm. Unflustered. Unpressured. You don't always have to look at the player going forward. Sometimes you look at the player in its defensive mode. The way he keeps calm and gives confidence to the rest of that defense, which Persic did today. You know, Benton Core was brilliant.
Oh, yeah, he was.
And
He was.
brilliant.
He was.
He was brilliant today. And you need those calm heads, which we've never had before, which we've always been panicking. Even with the great Sanchez that everybody is saying was playing well today, he was calm because of the players and the confidence he was given by the players around him and surrounding him. Dyer was brilliant, you know. So
Talking of Dyer and how brilliant he was today, there's talk. Well, I mean, the chatters in most circles is that he should be on that plane to Qatar, to Doha. What do you guys think?
forget it.
Yeah.
Maguire is on that plane. Forget Dyer.
Okay.
I think
Maguire is on that
if he
plane.
keeps up his form, he'll have a shout. He played very
Absolutely.
well today. I think the entire back five, when we defend in our five, I think they were all very good defensively today. I think they kept us in the game, but I think that was the plan anyway. And talking about the way we play, we have a solid back five now. They're very well organized in defense, so we're very difficult to break down. And like you rightly said, Soji, they had a lot of the ball, but not many clear-cut chances. And you can for virtually every game that we've played this season. So that back five is bang on. They're playing very well. The challenge I thought we had was what we did with the ball. Whenever we turned it over, whenever we had the football and we were attacking, that's where I felt that we had the challenges. I felt that we didn't take opportunity of those transitions as well as we could have done. But as for the defense, I think we're bang on. I hope I haven't dropped off. Am I still on?
You're still very on. You're still very much on. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, excellent. I couldn't see you guys anymore. So yes,
No,
I
yes.
think defense we were fine. I think even in defensive midfield we did well. I think the only place we fell on was those transitions. We didn't take the advantage, take advantage of those transitions as well as we could have done. And once we improve that, we're going to look more like an attacking
It could have
side.
been
There's going to
six.
be less talk
Yeah,
about defensively.
Now, I mean, Ben
could have been
mentioned
six.
something earlier on, and which I just want him to sort of go back and sort of expand on a little bit, and which is, it seems okay, right? When other teams aren't playing too great and they win matches, you hear word like, "Oh, that's the stuff of champions," right? They don't win, they don't play too well, and they win, right? When Spurs don't play too well, it's like, oh, it's gonna come apart very anytime soon, you know. However, I mean, from watching what we've done so far this season, right? I actually think that we are going to move up many more gears over the course of the season, right? And I have, well, quite, I feel reasonably confident, if you like, that things are going to get better from match to match, you know, as the season progresses. Ben, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen we've seen what we've been playing these past, what is it, 5 matches, 4 matches. I lose count now. But it hasn't been like what we're used to, like tail end of last season. We've got a few more gears to go through before we can start playing our top notch football like we know we can play. So I'm sure we're going to get there. I don't know why. I don't know why they're playing. I mean, I'm not like those guys in the form that they'll just start, you know, getting red in the face and start spewing that they should play this guy, play that guy, play this guy. It's that's why they pay this guy $15 million to get the team playing. And if he can't get them playing yet, I don't think any of us in the forum are going to do it. But we're going to get there eventually, because all teams go through periods. You know, okay, ours is starting in the beginning, but we're still winning. Other teams are going to go through their bad patches. I mean, look at Arsenal. People are saying, "Oh, we're reactive. We play reactive football." Well, Arsenal don't, and they're not in the Champions League, are they? You know, so I like our kind of football. It got us Champions League, and it's going to get us some good matches to go watch this season. Um, and I think we will improve. We definitely will. And yeah, I think people have got it in for Spurs, probably because Spurs has not been known as a big a big club. I mean, what I've tended to tell people now, keep saying, "Oh, we've got nothing in our trophy cabinet." I'm saying, yeah. The problem is, he who builds the first house has a whole house. We're building a new one. Their own house is old. They got cobwebs and all their trophies. So, yeah, we're not a big team. We're not a big team. Yeah, it's true. We're not a big team. I don't argue with them and say, yeah, we're a big team. We're a big team. I'm saying, what have you done for them lately? You've done nothing. You're not in Champions League. You know I'm talking about, the scum. So yeah, I think we'll get there eventually. And when we do, we shut them up permanently. They're top of the league now. They're like an elephant on a freaking top. They'll be falling down soon.
You couldn't resist. You couldn't resist that day, could you? Eh?
I wonder
can't,
what
man.
team you support, Ben.
Well, it's not Arsenal, that's for sure.
Goodness.
But if I can
Yeah.
just jump in here. Look, what's the old saying? Goals win matches, defenses win titles. We've got a solid
Yeah.
defense and we have a fantastic platform. What you guys have been saying is absolutely correct. The big teams, the teams that win things, play badly and still win. And even when they're having really bad days, they make sure they don't lose. The hallmark now, we're onto something really good. And like Ben said, sooner rather than later, everything is going to change. We're actually going to start firing. Transitions are going to be coming off, and those chances will be coming and we'll be sticking them in. We're going to be hot. So we're getting there. It's a good start. If we're going to start slowly, this is the way to start slowly. I'm 100% happy with this. 100% happy with this.
It looks like Ben didn't get that memo about White Hart Lane. It was pulled down like what, a few years back, and we're now at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. What's that White Hart Lane sticker doing next to you there?
This is to show that he goes way back.
It's a bit of history, mate. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well said, man. Well said. That's it.
It's got to be still in history, right?
Some people wear old jerseys, man. They're not going to burn them, are they?
Absolutely.
Man.
That's got to be being super retro, right?
That's right. That's right.
Right. Now,
but we're still in N17. We're
this
still
is
in
it.
N17. That's
This is
sure.
it.
So
This
that
is
part
it.
is still good.
Yes. I remember, in actual fact, when the new stadium, I used to have season ticket back at White Hart Lane before it got pulled down. Right? Now, the very first time I went to the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, in actual fact, Folabi actually gave me a free ticket on that day, if you remember. So I don't know if you remember. I think we had a cup.
I do remember.
Yeah, I think we had a cup game on that day, and yeah, it was really nice. Thanks once again. It was
You're more than welcome.
absolutely fantastic experience. And
Hope you enjoyed the hospitality.
Oh, of course. I mean, absolutely top notch. I mean, we won't talk about that. People start to look at us funny when we start talking about the hospitality. But yes, it was really nice, and yeah, I mean, I find that stadium to be an absolutely electric place, right? I think if you look at the atmosphere today at the City Ground, I mean, they haven't been back in the Premier League for a very long time. This is the first time they're having what you might call one of the top teams, if you like, and they really tried to rouse their team up. But I just loved the way that Tottenham played and just quieting the crowd. Didn't panic, didn't seem so assured. And we didn't panic. I mean, we didn't seem to be in trouble at any point in time. Even when the commentators kept saying, "Oh, they're in a bit of trouble now," No, they were not in any trouble at all. They weren't in trouble at all. If anything, they were as cool, as calm as you could get. I love that. Deji, what do you reckon?
Look, the truth about this thing is this. There's a difference between watching a game as a fan and watching it as a journalist. When the game is over and the points are won, you can look back and think exactly what you're saying. You're absolutely right. But in those moments, you want to be 3 goals ahead, 4 goals ahead, and just know that it's gone. But when you do the analysis, when the adrenaline is gone and your eyes are clear, I think we did well. I think we controlled defensively. I think it was Robbie Earl they have on the network over and said that Tottenham looks one of the best teams out of possession. And that is the truth. They press us, they did win the ball off us, but they didn't trouble us in the last third. They didn't. So I think it's absolutely correct. We're solid defensively. We're solid without the ball. Very difficult to break down, and it augurs well for the immediate future.
Join the conversation, post-match review, Forest versus Spurs, live on Common Use Spurs TV. We've got Ben, we've got Deji, and we have Folabi, all discussing the match against Forest. Now, we had one goal, and it looked like we needed to score to stay in that match because Forest seemed to be put under a lot of pressure, and it seemed like a matter of time before they either equalized or just caused us a lot of problems. And then up pops. I think it was. Now it reminds me. Someone said Percy didn't play too well. I thought he actually played quite well because if you look at the goal opportunity that came, it came from his cross, and it put the defender under pressure, and that obviously led to the penalty. Now that was a funny one. Talk us through that, Deji.
Well, Perisic is a special player, and I've read that Conte loves wingers that he can convert into defenders, and you can tell that with Perisic. Perisic is an extremely clever winger, but not that good or not as good a winger as he is a defender. So when he gets quick, clever forwards who can put the ball behind him and run in, he has trouble because he doesn't have the pace. But as a winger, he can get the ball to the back. If where you think he's never going to get that cross in, he whips the cross in and he crosses the ball brilliantly. So that cross was one of those. Got to the byline, very tight, and he whipped it in. If the defender didn't get his hand to it, I think it would have gone in.
Absolutely.
So which is why I was surprised that it was a yellow card and not a red card. But I thought he did well going forward. Not so good in defense, but he'll learn the tricks of the Premiership and the quick nippy wingers that we have in the Premiership, and I think he'll be solid. I think Sessegnon came in and did very well in that position as well.
Absolutely, that's the beauty of having a deep squad. And someone mentioned earlier on that is going to serve us really, really well over the course of the season, because in the past when we had to make changes, we didn't have people to sort of cover in those key positions. We didn't have options. Now we seem to have so many options. Folabi, I know that penalty save, if you like. I mean, you talk us through that penalty save.
Well, first of all, it couldn't have been a red card because the keeper was still there.
Right.
Okay, so it couldn't have been a red card. Secondly, that penalty for me, I was very surprised. From the moment when VAR was reviewing it and everything, if you look at it, Kane took the ball, put it under his armpits, and was holding the ball. I was quite surprised that for me, it was not, I would say it was rather lethargical in that taking that. He didn't whip it the way he normally whips in penalties and everything. Don't forget, he's taken 21 penalties in a row and scored.
I think that's an absolutely phenomenal record, isn't it? I mean, considering that it's
a phenomenal record.
I mean, okay, you find people have maybe a save here and there, but he has been so consistent for us. It's almost as if you can bet your house on it, put your mortgage on that ball going in. And when it didn't go in, it was like, what? How did that happen? What happened there?
I was in shock.
Yeah, I was in absolute shock. So that wasn't pretty from our perspective. But hey, Harry Kane does what he does. The cross came in. Now this has to be, for me, one of the best plays. Not only so much because he gave the cross in for that second goal, right, Ben? I mean, that was a bit of Brazilian flair to begin with. But before he actually got to that ball, he had to fight off a defender. And it was like not giving up on a lost cause. It was like, it seemed like a lost cause on the face of it, but he kept running and he got to the ball, and he still had work to do to keep his body between between the ball and the defender, and still had enough presence of mind to deliver that cross. I mean, come on, Ben, what do you reckon?
No, I mean that. Did anyone see the way he did that with his left
Well,
peg?
this is it.
Who do you remember? Who's that? Who do we remember doing that last? Let me think. Let me try and think. I think the guy used to play for Tottenham, didn't he? Plays for Real Madrid now, doesn't he? That was absolutely brilliant. On his left peg, the ball just spun off his leg, and then who was there? Harry Kane was in the same position he was last match. You know, he just used his head.
Yeah.
I mean, they called him a number 10. He's a freaking number 9. He was just there, ready for the ball, and just get home. Absolutely
Yeah,
brilliant.
that
So
was
no, I love
Ben,
Ricky.
Ben,
I love Ricky.
Ben, you got to
Yeah.
say something. He kept himself on side in that tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane. Yeah, of course he did. I mean, Harry is long in the tooth. Harry is long in the tooth. He's not going to get caught offside with that kind of simple ball. And you can see you can see all the play in front of him. There was no way he was going to be offside. He just stood there, waited for the ball, just nodded it home, and went away screaming. He's third top high scoring picking in the Premier League now. Third. He's gone through Aguero and he's gone through the other guy that was under that, Andy Cole. He's now third.
And
So he's
Cole.
got to get.
Andy
He's
Cole.
got 73. Yeah, 73 more goals, and he'll be top. He'll be level 74, and he'll be on top of Shearer. You know. So no, enough respect on him. Enough respect. He's a formidable striker. The Harry Kane team. Who cares? Harry Kane team doesn't matter. I'm happy with that.
That they
I'm happy
wanted
with
to
that,
buy it.
as long as we keep winning.
Daddy, you wanted to buy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mind that.
Take a bow, Hurricane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Nice
absolutely.
clapping for him. Yeah. I thought that was for me. No? Okay, cool.
No, that was actually for Richarlison as well, you know.
Yeah,
For
No,
delivering
honestly,
that sumptuous
honestly,
cross,
Soji,
you know. That
I
was
can't
phenomenal.
say
That was absolutely
enough
phenomenal.
about Richarlison.
No, for me-
When we bought him for all that money, I thought this is the best money we're going to spend this window because of his act. He comes on and he is all fire. He's got fire in his belly. He fires up the team. You can see
That is so true.
some of the problems that we faced over the years was that Harry and Son would just sometimes go flat, especially when we're having trouble breaking teams down. You bring this ball and he
Yeah.
chases after everything. And he made the difference today with that shoulder charge and that ball turning around and that, the curl pass to Harry. Brilliant.
Yeah,
110%.
absolutely brilliant. And that just sort of knocked the stuffing out of them. You know, I thought that was a real
What we paid for.
real beauty. You know.
Yeah.
Next match, we're up against those guys up the road. Oh gosh, West Ham. You know, what do you guys think? we won't do
They
the
just
full
got
match
3
preview
points.
here,
They just-
but hey,
Yeah, they just came off the bottom. They've been in the bottom. They've been on the bottom all season.
right, okay.
Yeah, they just managed. I was surprised. I looked at the table and I'm like, oh, where's West Ham? Oh, they've managed to come out. They got 3 points. So now it's Leicester.
Who did they play
Leicester's
against
probably
today?
come out. Aston Villa. They managed to. Everyone beats Villa. Come on.
Villa.
Everybody beats Villa. Villa's in
They win.
trouble.
No,
I mean,
look.
Stevie might be looking for a job. Stevie might be looking for a job soon.
Let me tell you something.
not doing well.
Let me say something here. Chelsea,
In your own time.
West Ham, slow. They all know how to raise their game, no matter how badly they play. When they're playing Spurs, they all know how to raise their game. They don't need training for that week. They just know
Derby
how to
teams.
raise. Let me finish. They just know how to raise their game against Spurs, home or away. They say this is a do or die. This is, even if it's just one game in the season we have to win, this is the game we have to win, and it's against Spurs. And Chelsea were playing bad. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, we can. I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you for that. Yeah.
Okay. Chelsea were not playing so well. When we're going to play them, Chelsea played against us. Chelsea played a less game. And I'll tell you something. My brother Jeremy he said something to me, and I believe him. He said Chelsea will not play a better this
Thank
season
you.
against anybody else than they did against Spurs.
Hmm?
Come West Ham,
Not
they've
yet.
only got 3 points, scored a goal
Yes.
today, and it's left for us Spurs to now wake up to these challenges. It's just not against Arsenal. It's against the other London clubs. And this season, we have 6 London clubs, 6 of them. And each one is a derby. And it's not just Arsenal. And
Absolutely,
every
yes. We,
one
we
of
have we
them
have Chelsea, we've got
wants
Crystal
to play
Palace, we've got West Ham, we have
Fulham.
Fulham. So it's
Brentford.
and Brentford, yes, and yeah. So it's
Yes.
really full on this season in terms of from derbies. If we get through all those derbies unscathed, we've got past one, which is Chelsea away. Precious points at
A
that point.
very important one. A very important one.
Absolutely. As long as we don't lose, I think.
The one that normally ends in zero. Yeah, that one normally ends in 0 point. 0 point. Like the Eurovision Song Contest for us. 0 point. But
So,
nah, we got
New
one
form.
there.
New form. Yeah,
Yeah,
new form.
yeah.
Now, those, I think, if we just take a brief look at Forest and the players that they sort of had, I had those two boys that kind of stood out for me. The Gibbs young guy from Watford, the Gibbs, and also Brendan Johnson. Both of them they seem quite well. What do you think, Did
Well, I think is Gibbs White. Did he not come from Wolves?
No, it came from yes,
That the
we got
young
from
lad
Wolves. That's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah,
who they just bought for 50 million. I don't know. I mean, some of these things I don't understand because he was on the fringes even at Wolves. He never broke into the team. He used to come in some games and play fairly well. So he's a
yeah,
decent player, but 50 million quid. I thought, wow. I think he did all right. Certainly didn't trouble us beyond the midfield. He did well. The other guy I don't really know. This Johnson guy whose dad was in the crowd, right?
yes.
Don't really know much about him. I think he did a lot of running, but if anything, I think
Nice
it was a
haircut.
Nigerian. Yes, yes, it was the two Nigerian boys, isn't it? There was
Emmanuel Dennis and Awoni.
Awoni, and then Dennis, who
yeah,
who
well, they
who
were
tended to
taken out
flatter to
today.
deceive.
Yes, I mean that,
Did you get that?
I kind of thought because they didn't have an attacking threat, they brought on Awoni that perhaps he would make an impact, but no. Thankfully he
Hmm.
didn't. We had him
No, he
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
all,
He
all,
chopped it
all,
by this
all,
morning. So
all wrapped up.
he
If you're
kept him
watching us for
away.
the first time, this is Common Spurs TV. Subscribe to our channel, share and comment and like. We're discussing the match between Forest and Spurs, and I'm here with with Folabi, Deji, and Ben. Ben, tell me
Yeah.
what I mean. I know we have a decent defensive record so far this season, right? We've conceded how many goals? What? 3 goals, two against Chelsea, and one against Southampton. But
Wolves was it?
did we concede against
Yes,
Wolves?
Southampton. Yeah. No. Southampton. You're right. It's
Yes,
Southampton.
No,
exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Southampton.
So
Spurs game.
yeah, I think so far so good. How would you rate our defense, Ben?
I think our defense has faced a trouble early on because we've lost Kuti. But I think that ball carrying ability that Kuti brings to the team, we're missing, obviously. But we also have the fact that we're not going to get one of our defenders getting a yellow card or potentially a red card. In that Sanchez is just, you saw him in the match today. He would just, he would just kick the ball out. Keep it simple, nice and simple. You could just imagine that Conte is just in his ear saying, "Keep it simple, son. Keep it simple. You know very well. Keep it simple." And he just kicks the ball out. Doesn't waste time. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the way our defense is coming together. Obviously, the renaissance that's come with Dyer, brilliant. Keep it up. What's his face? Ben Davies,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Ben Davis.
I think our back three are brilliant. I think that our right wing back, Emerson, not unroyal, is not. He's a defender. He's not. He can't do anything up front. He should have gone just like Ray Young's going to go. He can't put those crosses in. But I think bringing in Jed just now in this match was brilliant. I love the way he was running up and down. And I think that come January, the Emerson might be on his way. Personally, I think he might be on his way because he's had bags of time. He's had 8 months now, and yet he still can't put a ball in. You know, so no, I'm happy with defense. Very happy with defense. Um, as we were saying earlier, the defense is what wins you titles, and I think we got a title winning defense. Personally, the fact that we can actually live without Kuti and still do it, that clean sheet. Well, do you remember? Go back to those days when we were playing under Mourinho, Maureen as we call him, or and when we were playing under the bearded one, we were shipping goals for fun. You know, our defense looked like they've been, I don't know, like they'd never met each other, and they just started playing today. So I'm happy. Defense. What you have to do is look at defense now and look at defense we had previously. You can't compare them at all. So I'm happy. I'm happy. I haven't got any bad word to say against any of the defenders, even our Sanchez, because he's doing the business. Last season, Kuti was out. He came in. He didn't let a goal in. This season he's coming again. Kuti's not there. He's slotting in, despite the fact that he chops grass. Yeah, that was once. He chopped grass once, and then they called him grass chopper. It was funny though. It was funny. I can't get that picked out of my mind. It was too funny. But he
It
brings
was already.
entertainment as well. He brings entertainment to the match. It's good, you know. So no, I'm happy personally.
You have to love you have to love what's the word, Mr. Conte. Now he's got us playing the way he wants us playing. He's also seemed to be able to get the best out of whoever we've got on at any point in time. If you think about it, I mean, a lot of people would tell you that they're not quite happy. They're not confident about Sanchez. They think maybe he's a liability. Some sort of but he's given account of himself overall. I mean, you can't fault. I couldn't fault his play today at all. He played the right ball. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time, and that's the mark of a good defender. You don't. I keep things calm without necessarily having to create panic for your team. And I think he did quite well today. I mean, that's my view anyway. I mean, I don't know what you guys think.
I couldn't agree with you more, Soji. I think I said on the platform that I thought I had a brilliant game, and I think I said here before we went live that I thought he was the man of the match, even though people didn't agree with me. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he stuck to his task well. He did everything that was asked of him. There are some things that he's not just capable of doing. He can't play the long ball. He can't run the ball out of defense. But he's a good, solid central defender on the right side, and he did all of that today. The good thing about it is that we have upgrades. We have Kuti, who's to come back. And we
Yeah,
must all remember, even with Ben Davis struggling along and doing all right, we've got Langley, and he's coming in. He's an upgrade. And when he starts playing, if he fires, we'll be fantastic. We're going to be absolutely fantastic. So I think it's all looking up for us. I think the defense is solid. And it is just to touch person. I won't be surprised if Emerson stays beyond January because Conte likes him. Conte likes his engine. He's not so good going forward, but he gets back and he does what Conte asks of him. Yes, he can't cross the ball. Maybe Conte feels that he can't get the crosses and he can at least pull back to Kulinowski
Coolly.
running in or even Kane coming from deep if he can't get the crosses in. I think Conte likes him, and I don't know that he's going to get rid of him so soon. And remember, we still have what's his face, the Irish guy from Wolves.
Yeah,
He's still there. And remember, he was doing really well towards the middle to the end of last season before he got it. He's still there to come back. So that even if Emerson is messing up, we have a natural or more natural right wing back in him. I think we're looking good. And of course, the kid, Jed Spence, who
Jed.
came on for a cameo today. Yeah, Jed is there as well. And I think they say Conte was saying in training he's looking more and more like the Premiership player he wants him to be. So he's going to get a few runs, as time goes on. It's not looking bad.
Absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, we also have in midfield, Skip is back in training. Apparently, he should be back in full training and hopefully ready for selection in the coming days. I hear that Mora is injured. And there's also news of that Gio is probably going out on loan. But there's also rumors
Yeah.
that we have potentially one more midfielder joining us. I mean, we don't know who that is just yet,
Yep.
but some people say it might be Adama Traore. Now, if you ask me, I don't know what we're doing with Adama Traore, but that's just me.
Baby Hoyle. Baby Hoyle. No,
I'm a hater.
we don't need
I hold
Baby
my hands
Hoyle.
up. I'm a hater.
All right, so I mean, I don't know what we're doing with him, but hey, what do I know? I'll leave that with Don Conte. Don Conte, what's your view on that?
On baby oil.
You know my views on anything concerning Don Conte. I was going to interject you said Mr. Conte earlier, but I thought I'll leave you alone. Look, it's not only from the team, it's the entire club. The mentality has changed. It's changed completely. Have we ever had a pre-season of transfer window? A window transfer like we've ever had like this before? Under DL. I'm a DL person. DL. You know, we've changed our club. DL has changed our club from a selling club to running a club to having the best stadium in the world. If not the best stadium, certainly arguably one of the two best stadiums in the world.
No, it's the best.
We
No,
now
I
have
have it on record. It's the best stadium.
okay. To the last season, City came for Harry Kane. 5 seasons ago, they would have got him. Last season, we said no.
I
Either
mean,
you come with this price,
talking
this
of
money,
talking of which,
or you
sorry,
stay.
Falabi, sorry to interrupt you. Right, I remember days when we had people like Carrick who played really brilliant for us in midfield. Man, you come, buy him off, right? Babatov, he's
Berbatov.
Thank you.
Berbatov.
fantastic. You come, they buy him
But
off.
we were a selling club.
Modric, he's doing
We were
Walker.
known
absolutely
as a
awesome.
selling club.
You know, they buy him off. Bale, he's doing fantastic. They sell him off. You know, Kyle Walker. You know, all those people are doing so well for us, and we kind of feel a need to sell them off. Now, here,
There's a reason though.
exactly.
To be
So,
fair,
but
Soji,
there's
there was a reason. We didn't have income streams. We had no income streams. That's the problem. With this new stadium, sorry, I don't mean to come in front of you, but this is the reason why. This new stadium, the training ground, everything else, investments. So when Lady Gaga is playing there making money for us, it makes more money for us. It makes the team bigger. That's why we're able to say to
absolutely.
Man City,
Now,
just go away. I almost swore then.
I
But
also
we're able to tell them to go away.
I put it more to one other thing. Huh? We have also gone into Champions League for several seasons. And now we're getting it's all about income. I agree with you. It's about getting income.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? So we're no longer a selling club. We're a club that keeps let me just say this. For me, I said it 2 seasons ago on that forum. It's not when you say, oh, buy this player, buy that player. for me, the thing you have to do is keep your best players in transfer window. Keep your best players during the transfer windows. Then look at buying additional players. There's no point in buying additional players if you cannot keep your best players. So for me, keeping your best players during the transfer windows is like signing new players.
Now, in actual fact,
This
you
is
just,
what we've been able to do.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, and everyone's in their own little ways sort of contributed to this little ongoing debate in the Spurs world of how um, it depends on who you're talking to. Some people say to you, Levi has ruined Tottenham. Some people say to you because he doesn't buy players, he sort of is very stingy, he doesn't spend money, and some people will tell us, calm down, take a big picture approach. And if you take a big picture approach, you can see that we're heading in the right direction. It's taken us a long time to get here in terms of the investment required in the stadium to generate the revenue Ben mentioned earlier on. The investment in the players to ensure that we keep the right players in the club at all times and ensure that also we attract new people. And also, playing in the Champions League consistently guarantees us the revenue that we need to remain competitive and attract players, as also obviously service our debts that we need. Even though, granted, we have long term debts in there, but it just brings me to another point which someone mentioned the other day. I was listening to Simon Jordan, and he said something which I thought was quite interesting. He said people are looking to buy off uh, Man United, and Sir Ratcliffe, the guy who owns Ineos, Nigeria, I mean, sort of Britain's richest man, and he said Man U are valued at between £4 and £5 billion. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Man U valued at £4 or £5 billion. Now, I'm not even
Yes.
sure we're that far off. If anything at all, we're probably between 2 and 3. Now, we've got a £1 billion stadium to begin with. That is an asset in itself. We have an amazing training ground. We have excellent squad, excellent manager, match day revenue. Come on, I mean, it's looking up. What do you think, Deji? You want to say something?
The only thing that's
Give
missing
them
now
is
is
respect.
some trophies in that cabinet, some good furniture in that new house, and I think we're on the right track. It's been a perfect storm that has brought Conti to us. It didn't happen the way that we planned it. It was a lot of coincidences, but I think it was providence, and I think he's just about the best manager that Tottenham can have at the minute, both from his personality and the way that he has dealt with DL, because he has let him know from the middle of last season that it's either you are going to upgrade these players or I'm going to leave. Now, I don't know how close DL was to splashing the cash at that time, but he knew that his back was to the wall. And if he didn't come up with the money now, that would be it for him, because you will have a coach like Conte walk out on you, and everybody will ask, okay, so we have this great stadium. We've been able to buy some of these players. We can't win anything. This is a man who can win us things, and he's here with us now. This is the time. I think he's done all that's been asked of him at this point. He's splashed the cash. He's given the money. We're still going to get. I think you hinted on that a few minutes ago. We'll probably still get one or two players in before the end of the transfer window. It's looking good.
Talking
We're
about
actually
bringing in new players before the end of the transfer window, we bring in our own new player. We bring in Chuma before the competition ends. Chuma is just joining us.
we're
Say that
actually
again.
looking to get 2 players before the end of the transfer window. You know. I'll say something here. I've said it when I go to this stadium. I'm on another. Jeremy and I were on another. We have a London Spurs forum. So which is our group that we in our stand. And one thing I'll say to you, listen, Levy is not a stupid person. He would never, ever have signed on to Don Conte without realizing that the moment you get into the top 4, he's not going to back him all the way. He's
Well,
not.
the press would have you
Conte
believe the
has
other
a
way,
big
though.
speech.
The press would have you believe. The press would have you believe that Conte,
Are we talking
you
about
know,
the press?
stupid people.
Look, you guys talk about the press as if the press loves Spurs. The pundits, the media, they all hate Spurs. I'm sorry.
It's Spurs.
Everybody attacks me when they say, where do you come from? It's the fact. They hate Spurs because they come with this team. Oh, Spurs were lucky. But if it's Man United, it's Liverpool. If it's shitty, excuse my friend, I shouldn't say shitty. If it's Arsenal and they get a result, they'll say, oh, this is